Hello friends, today we are going to study about Dust of Snow, poem 1 of our first flight of class 10th English. So before starting with the poem, I would just like to speak about poetry. What is poetry? According to William Wordsworth, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. So it's just a small incident which the poet comes across, and then he just pours down his feelings and write it down in the form of a poem. So there are numerous examples like Solitary Weeper, Dust of Snow, which tells about the poet's feelings at a small incident. So here also we are going to study about Dust of Snow, which is the first poem of our first flight. Now before reading about the poem, we would like to study about the poet. The poet is Robert Frost. He was a famous American poet and he was born in San Francisco on 26th of March 1874. He had won 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his poetical work. His famous poetical work is A Boy's Will, North of Boston, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Mending Walls, Fire and Ice, and recently which you have studied in class 9, The Road Not Taken. So this Dust of Snow is a very small poem which we are going to read now. Before starting, I would just like to give you a brief introduction about the poem. Dust of Snow is a small poem but with a big symbolical meaning. It is highly symbolic poem. It describes about a very simple natural happening having a larger significance. Many times in our life a small incident happens, but it affects our life. It is of great significance in our life. So generally we just avoid small incidents in our life, but they may change our life or they may bring some impact in our life, we will read from this poem, The Dust of Snow. Now before reading the poem, I would like to give out two important figures in this poem which are there. One is the hemlock tree. As you can see, this is the hemlock tree. It is a poisonous tree with small white flowers. And another important figure is the crow. Crow is another sign of bad omen or ill omen. Crow is not referred to as a positive sign. It gives a bad omen. So in this poem, we will read about these two. These two figures are very important in this poem: hemlock tree and crow. So in this poem, we will read how hemlock tree and crow, which are a symbol of negativity, helps the poet. Now, the central idea of this poem is that it describes a very simple happening, a very small happening in very simple words. It tells us about a small incident which may prove to be of a larger significance. Now, when the poem starts, the mood of the poet is low. He's sad. He's feeling very gloomy. But by the time, at the end of the poem, his mood changes just by a small incident of falling of snow on him, the dust of snow. Now in the end of the poem, the poet feels relaxed. There are only 2 stanzas, very small poem. There are only 2 stanzas. First stanza shows the negativity, the sad and the gloomy feeling of the poet. And the second stanza is telling about his relaxation, his change of mood. So a small poem of 2 stanzas we will read now. Dust of Snow. I am going to recite the poem twice. Kindly try to imitate the same tone, intonation and pronunciation. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had ruled. Again I will recite the poem. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had due. Now here, as you can see, crow, which we have already discussed, crow is a sign of ill omen. Generally, you must have seen that poets write about birds like peacock, birds like sparrow, nightingale, cuckoo. But very rarely you will find any poem where the crow is mentioned. So why the poet has mentioned the crow? To show the negative feeling, to show that he was very sad, he was very gloomy, and to show that these are negative elements which comes in our life. Shook down on me. So once the poet was passing through the forest and on the mountainous region, hemlock trees are found. So he was in a very sad and depressed mood, and while he was passing through that mountainous region under a hemlock tree, he just stood. Now again crow, then hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is also again a poisonous tree, showing a sign of the symbol of negative reference. So he stood under the hemlock tree, and suddenly what happened? Because of this crow, the dust of snow fall on the poet. The dust of snow fall on the poet. Now it has not specified. Okay, it is not specified whether the crow came and said because of his lending, or because of his shaking, or because he himself he just came and shook the branches, and because of that the dust of snow fall on the poet. That is not mentioned. Only thing is that the crow was sitting on the branches of the tree, and suddenly some dust of snow particles fall on the poet. Now due to this, what happened was that suddenly he had a change of feeling. Suddenly the poet started feeling different. When he came and stood under the hemlock tree, he was very sad, he was depressed. But when the dust of snow particles fall on him, he felt a little bit change of mood. He felt relaxed. The nature has given a positive impact on him. So he is feeling relaxed, has given my heart a change of mood. His heart felt relaxed. He felt better. All the sadness, gloomy and the sorrowful nature felt, he became a little bit better, he felt, and saved some part of a day I had ruled. And what the poet is saying is that some part of my day was saved. How? Because he realized that what is the sense of feeling sad? What is the sense of feeling depressed? I have already wasted half of my day thinking about sadness, thinking about the incident which has happened with me. So what is the use of it? Why I need to feel so sad and depressed? So his change of mood, his mood changed, and his rest of the day was saved. Now here, shook. What do you mean by shook? Shook means to shake. Then hemlock tree again, a poisonous tree with small white flowers. Then another very important word is root. Now R-U-E-D, root. Root is feeling of regret. Okay, when something bad happens and you are feeling very sad and depressed, and at that time, root feeling means you feel regretted. That, oh, I wish this work would have been undone. It's done. But now what is done, you cannot undo it. Okay, what is done, it cannot be undone. So, what is the sense of crying for it? So, he is saying that in the first stanza, he was feeling very sad, he was feeling very depressed. But just with one small incident falling of the dust particles on him, made his change in this mood. He understood that there is no use of crying. Why I need to feel sad? Why I need to feel depressed? What is done cannot be undone. Now what I have to do is, I have to take out some positivity from this negative aspect and forget about it and start again. Now this same thing, so what is the small incident? The small incident is falling of the snow particles, and the impact is change in his mood. Now here again one more thing is a natural phenomena. Nature has helped him in changing his mood. What is nature? Dust of snow. It's a part of nature. So that nature has given him an idea that no, you need not to worry. Okay, and the change of mood has spared the rest of his day. The rest of his day is spared by his change in mood. He is now feeling relaxed. He has learnt something, that why I need to worry what is over. Now I need to think about the next thing. Now I have to think about the rest of the day. So he had realized that crying over spilt milk is of no use. Fine, something bad happened. Let it be. We can't help it. Now we have to stop thinking about it and try to take out some positive thing from it. So this small poem, but it's highly symbolic. It is giving us a big lesson. It is telling us a moral that we should. First thing is that a small incident can change our mood. A small incident can change our aspect for a particular thing. Second thing is, as we have seen, crow and hemlock, both these things are negative. They are negative sign. Both these things are giving a negative reference. But the crow has shook some dust of snow. That means dust of snow is bringing positivity. So what the poet is trying to say? That you never know that the negative thing which has happened with you may be bringing something positive with you. You may get some positive signs from that negative aspect also. So poet is trying to say small incidents can change your mood. A small incident can make you think that something better can happen. So first of all, the small incident of sprinkling of snow particles on him, and the second thing is change of mood from negativity to positivity. In the first stanza, the poet is full of sadness and depression. He is feeling sad, he is feeling depressed. Now here in the second stanza, he is full of positivity. He is thinking, he is saying that, oh my God, I have wasted half of my day. Half of my day I have wasted feeling sad and gloomy. Why should I do that? And now he is saying, I am thankful to this dust of snow. I am thankful to this crow, I am thankful to this hemlock tree which has made me think that positivity still occurs. So, and saved some part. So instead of crying of what is over, I have to think about my rest of the day and how to make it better. Instead of feeling sad for the whole day, the rest of the day I can make better and I can improve and I can think about something positivity. Now the main aim, see generally poets write about maple tree, pine tree, oak tree, but use of hemlock tree. Robert Frost has very cleverly used hemlock tree to tell the readers that even negative things can bring some positivity in your life. We should not completely avoid negative things. Okay, we should not be making a distance. Okay, fine, if something negative has happened with us, something positive is sure need to happen to us. Similarly, crow, we read about nightingales, we read about cuckoos, we read about sparrows, peacocks, for having a good feeling which gives us a positive vibes. But we have never heard about crow. But Robert Frost has used crow as a negative, as a symbol, as a sign of ill omen. So means showing his feeling that he was very sad. Second thing, showing negative aspect plus the negative thing which is bringing positivity. Because of crow, what happened? The dust of snow sprinkled on it. So that negative thing, crow and hemlock tree, has brought positivity in it. Means, if something negative has happened to us, instead of feeling sad and depressed, we should try to extract positive thing from it. that what is the positive aspect between this negative incident with us. So instead of crying, feeling sad and depressed, we should try to analyze and try to bring out the positivity from that negative incident. So very small poem, but giving a big lesson. It motivates us not to be sad in our adverse situations and to feel relaxed and to learn to extract positivity from those negative incidents. Now we come to the next the rhyme scheme of this poem. Now, as you all know, to find out the rhyme scheme, we focus on the last word. On the last word of every line. Now, as you can see, the way of crow. Now, the crow, the sound of crow, we will take it as A. Then, second word, me. Now, crow, me is not similar to the sound of crow, so we will give it the letter B. Again, third line, last word is snow. Now, snow is rhyming with crow. So, snow is rhyming with crow, so it is equal to A. That means A, B, A, tree. Last word is tree. Now, tree is rhyming with me. So, the letter will be B. So, the first stanza, the rhyme scheme will be A, B, A, B. In the next stanza, has given my heart. Heart is neither rhyming with crow nor with me. So neither it will be A nor B, it will be C. Then change of mood. Mood again not rhyming with crow, not rhyming with me, not rhyming with heart. So A, B, C and then D. Now next is part. Part word is rhyming neither with A, neither with B, but it is rhyming with heart. So the letter will be C. Next is rude. Now rude is rhyming with mood. So D. So what will be your rhyme scheme? Your rhyme scheme will be A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. This is the rhyme scheme of this small poem. Next we come to the literary devices. The very important aspect of poem is the literary devices. Now the first literary device which is used in the poem is alliteration. Now what is alliteration? Alliteration is the occurrence of same letter or sound at the beginning of words. Now here as you can see, has given my heart. Now what is repeated? H, H. H and H is repeated. Has and heart. So H sound, beginning of the word, the beginning letter or the beginning sound of a word which is repeated. So that is called alliteration. That is called alliteration. Next again, and saved some part. S, S. Saved some. So S, S is repeated. So again, alliteration. Generally, alliteration is for the consonant letters and sounds. Second very important literary device is inversion. Now, you must have heard about poetic license. What is poetic license? Poetic license is the license given to the poet to change a word, to change the spelling of the word, to change the structure of the word and to make it to rhyme with the other words of the poem. So inversion is one of the poetic license in which the spelling is not changed, the structure of a sentence is changed. So in inversion, the structure of a sentence is changed by the poet to create rhyme. So here in this inversion, the literary device inversion is used. In stanza 1, you can see inversion. The structure of the sentence is not correct, but because it is rhyming, it is in the form of it's producing a rhythm. That is why it is changed and it is shook on me. Okay, shook on me. Now this is structure wise, it is not correct, but it is giving just to rhyme it in the poem. We have used it. So this type of poetic license is called inversion. Next is assonance. Assonance is just like alliteration also. The only thing is the emphasis is given to vowel sounds. not initial letters, not the beginning letters. It may be in between the sentences. So the emphasis of vowel sounds throughout a line is called assonance. Now as you can see, shook down on me. Shook down on me. Here the sound O is prominent. Now here the sound O is prominent. So here O sound is vowel and this literary device used is called assonance. Next is enjambment. Now this enjambment literary device is wherein the same sentence continues in the next line without the use of punctuation. That is called enjambment. The same sentence is used in the next line but punctuation is not used. You can see in the whole poem, in both the stanzas, there is no punctuation used. So this literary device is called enjambment. The literary device used is called enjambment. So basically these are the literary devices which are used in the poem along with the rhyme scheme. Now we come to the message of this poem. This poem, though a very small poem of 8 lines, but it's having a large significance. It is a highly symbolic poem and it gives us a big lesson. The first message which it is giving is nothing in life is small. Whatever is there in our life, whatever happens in our life is having a large significance. So nothing in life is small. We should not assume things as small, that oh, just a small thing or a small incident, what can it have an impact on us? No, nothing is small. It is going to have maybe a small significance, but it will have that significance in our life. Even trivial things can bring positive changes in our life. Small things, trivial means small things. Even small things can bring positive changes in our life. A person is sad and depressed. You just give a smile and ask, what's the matter? Can I help you in any way? A small gesture, a small positive change can be helpful for that fellow. That person will feel relaxed. That person will feel that yes, someone is there to listen to him. So, a small thing, a small gesture, but giving a positive change in the life. It also shows that if we take things positively in life, if we take things positively in life, situations will change for our better. Now refer to this present situation in our life. At present we are going through such a big pandemic. The circumstances are worsening, but still we have a hope that everything will be better. Situations are going to change. We cannot cry that now what will happen, we will die, this, that, nothing like that. We will be better, the situations will be better. We will be mingling with others, we will be having functions, we will be meeting each other, everything will be fine. And with this hope, we are getting the courage to pass through this crucial situation. So, we should take things positively, and situations do change for our betterment. Situations change and they change for our betterment. There is going to, something better is going to happen. If this phase we are going through, something better is going to happen from this. Small help or good gestures we do for others make large differences. Small help. A person is in need. Oh, a person is struggling with some work. Okay, a person is struggling with a question, suppose in maths. You just give her help. Okay, oh, this you're not getting it. Let me help you. Let me take you how to do it. And the person is relaxed. The person is struggling hard. But your small help, a small gesture has helped the person, and the person has changed and has given him so much happiness. So good gestures, having a smiling face, okay, giving good gestures naturally is going to help others. So it makes large differences. We should not say, oh, what matters if I don't give a smile to that fellow. No, it matters. It may make a large difference. He may be sad and depressed, and with your smile he may have something positivity, some positive vibes in him. So he can feel better. Now, believe those random acts of kindness are small acts of kindness. Helping others, okay, treating others, properly, okay, just passing through people and giving a smile or greeting them. These small acts of kindness we do, the way they brighten a person's day. Okay, early morning, if we just give a smile and say good morning, it will bring some changes in other person's day. And sometimes change their future. Sometimes, you never know. You have not intentionally or directly motivated anyone. But a smile on your face may think the person who's sad and depressed learned something from you. This person is always smiling. It is not that he may not have any problems, but still he is smiling. So why I have to think low? I can also be smiling. I can also have positivity in my life, in my heart. So it may inspire other in some other way. Noticing and appreciating all the tiny things. A small tiny thing sparkling of the sprinkling of dust of snow. It was just a small thing. But he noticed, he appreciated nature, and the poet noticed this dust of snow particles falling on him, and he appreciated that nature is so positive, nature is full of positivity, and I need to learn from nature. So it was just a small act, okay, but he noticed it and he appreciated nature. So what happened? The result was positivity. So all the tiny things in life will make our life happier. So very small incidents also we should give significance. We should extract some positivity from them. Whatever negative or adverse situations come in our life, we should learn from them. We should try to extract positivity from them. And we should try to relax our mind that if we are going through bad days, naturally we are going to get positive and better days also. So we should learn that if winter is there, the spring will not be far behind. That means if tough days we are going through, surely we are going to get good days very soon. So we should try to take out positivity from all the negative things happening around us. So with this we come to the end of the poem. As you all know, a small incident, sprinkling of dust particles on the poet. The poet was in a sad mood, and finally he becomes better, he feels relaxed, and then he learns that the negative things like crow and hemlock tree can also give us some positivity. And so instead of thinking about that sadness, about that depression, he changed his mood to happiness. He is feeling relaxed. All the negative things were over from his mind and heart, and he started feeling better. So we need to learn these things from this poem, and we need to take the lesson that we have to take positivity from negativity. We need to give emphasis to very minute things from our life, and act of kindness. Now here, intentionally or unintentionally, it's not mentioned whether the crow did it intentionally or unintentionally. While landing on the branches, the dust particles fall on the poet. Now, intentionally or unintentionally, but you need to do an act of kindness which may be helpful for others. So, I hope you must have understood the poem and you have liked the poem. Thank you.